after hours is not about functional expertise. It's really about knowing the person behind the various professional titles we all hold, and the 3-4 stories that we've heard is wonderful. So I'm not talking about passion, but actually talking about 3 or 4 things that I attribute to be my success mantra. So they are belief systems or value systems, and which I feel have helped me reach where I have reached today, both professionally and personally. So I come from an army background. My father was a decorated soldier of the army. He'd fought 3 wars, won a lot of gallantry awards. I've been into 3 attacks: an ambush in Mizoram, a pellet attack in Punjab during terrorism, and a terrorist attack in Baramulla when I was in class 7. He just would say, go to the MH, they'll give you the medication, and then you carry on the next day. There's no need to sulk about it. And that is how one thought life is. So one learned how to be tough and let go and move on. And I think that's an attitude that when I was growing with, I never thought it's a belief system or value. I just thought that's the way life is, because that's the people that you were surrounded with. And I lived mostly in cantonments, and these things were very normal because he was in the infantry and we were in all these difficult postings. And that has made me realize the value of that, and that's why I put it under my success mantra. So I think it's helped me a hell of a lot, even professionally, because whether you had office politics or jealous colleagues, whether you had a great promotion or an increment, as Nitin was saying, whether your stock price did well or bad, it fell or rose, whether you had a campaign that was very successful or you made a TVC where you spent crores and it bombed, right? You did not let those things hold you back. You actually moved on because you could let go. So neither did you let that go to your ego, and neither did you feel that it was a failure. So that, I think, is an attitude that I'm very glad that I inherited from my father. My mother was a very positive person, well-educated, large-hearted, very positive. And she taught us 2-3 things, and I'm glad she did. Both my parents are no longer with us, but I'm sure they're together enjoying themselves. But what Mom taught me was celebrate life. She taught us that life is just too short to complain, to criticize, to begrudge. Just be happy and try and live in the present moment. I still remember, you come out of B school, you get these fancy jobs as management trainees, and a lot of my peers and colleagues were told, buy an LIC, it'll help you in tax, start saving. And my mom said, first 4-5 months, don't even think of saving a penny, okay? Just enjoy yourself. And it was a great feeling. I worked in an IIT, I started there, office was in SDA, and having that pastry and coffee from a kettle in Hyatt, buying flowers for my room every Sunday, it was a different feeling at that age of 23, 24. And I'm so glad that she taught us to celebrate everything worth celebrating, and not waiting for that big success, waiting for the silver anniversary or the 50th birthday or the sweet 16 birthday, but celebrating as things come. And I think that is some of you said, is a mixture of gratitude, positivity, and that I think is wonderful, because it has helped me, my family, my team, all of us sail through these very tough times, because we celebrated and there was gratitude for a lot of things. The other thing, of course, she always taught me was forgive. And it's not very difficult, she used to say, to forgive. But if you've really forgiven something, if you've really forgiven genuinely, you need to forget as well. Because a lot of people forgive, but they don't forget. And if you don't forget, then you're not really necessarily taking it as a learning, but you hold that grudge, that vendetta somewhere at the back of the mind, and it can emerge. So that's what Mom did. The third success mantra is something that my mentor and spiritual mentor, actually, he's a Japanese person, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, and I've been practicing this philosophy for 13, 14 years now, and he taught me. I won't say he taught me, but I think he made me realize, and what he made me realize really was my purpose in life. And I'm very grateful for that. And the purpose that I have chosen for myself, and I realize is a purpose that gives me a lot of happiness, is the purpose to make others happy and be happy myself too. So keep others and yourself both in the center of your life. And so a lot of things. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to own that next car. I'm happy when the share price rises. I'm happy to get a good increment. I'm unhappy when I don't get a good increment, blah, blah, blah. But I realize that all this actually is transient happiness, right? The moment you own that, after 4 or 5 months, you start thinking about the next thing. And like Kaushal, you said, you forget the gratitude maybe, yeah? But what I realized is that we need to develop something called absolute happiness. And I personally feel that material happiness or transient happiness is also very important, because that's what drives us, encourages us to achieve more, to be more successful, and I think that's also very important. But absolute happiness is a state of mind. And I'm happy that I'm getting there. I don't think I can claim that I am there. But that state of mind that you will overcome any challenge, any obstacle that comes your way, be it personal or professional, is a great feeling of empowerment, because you don't let these things actually get to you mentally. You don't let them depress you or make you feel low for a long period of time. Of course, when things happen, you do feel low at that moment, but very soon you bounce back. So I think that feeling of absolute happiness, that finding my purpose and realizing that is what I need to be. As a woman, realizing that unless I am happy, I actually cannot make others happy, be it at office, be it at home. And therefore, focusing on one's own happiness is not being selfish. A lot of times, focusing on my own happiness as a mother, as a working mother, as a wife, a daughter-in-law, a daughter, I always felt, no, I can't steal time on a weekend to go and have coffee with a friend, because it's not fair, because there's so many duties. But I think that realization that it's not selfishness and it's very important for each of us to do is something which is very liberating. So these 3-4 things I feel are my success mantra. And apart from a lot of other things like functional expertise, our organizations, our teams, opportunities that life gives, I feel that I am where I am because of this attitude and these 3-4 mantras that I follow in my life. So thank you so much. Thank you.